Hey guys, so let's continue with setting up blocking, and in this video we're going to make it look better, so we will add strafing movement, some sounds, effects, and also angle at which we can block. First thing, we need to import some new animations. So in Animations 200 I have created a new folder called Movement, and in the link in the description you do have these 4 animations for strafing. Don't worry about them being for 200 weapon, because we will only be using bottom half of the body. And this is actually the best strafing animations I have found, because it looks really good when you're running backwards as well. Most of them don't. Most of them are like overlapping the legs or something. So they are already retargeted for SK mannequin, so just select it and import them. And we will also need some sounds. But these ones I am only adding to my Patreon because they are quite hard to get. But if you want to get something similar, I do have this shield block metal. So when the shield is made from metal, then shield block wood, and same for weapons. So weapon metal and weapon wood. So get something similar, and once you have done that, let's set up the strafing first. So we need to set up the blend space. So let's open animations, 200 movement, and here we can search for blend space. Not the 1D, but this regular one. And here select SK mannequin. This will be called 200 underscore strafe underscore blend space, so BS. And we will be using it pretty much for all strafing, so even probably for the bow. I'll see later, but as I said, this is the best strafing animation. So before we actually open it, we need to create animations for walking, because at the moment we're only running. So we got these ones, but we just need to slow them down. So select all of them, Ctrl and D to duplicate, and then these ones with the 1 rename to walk. So instead of run, we will have walk backwards, then walk forward, and walk left, and also walk right. Select all of these walking ones, right click, asset actions, and we go to edit selection in property matrix. Here in the animation we'll change the rate scale to maybe, I think 0.5 will be good. So we will halve the speed of the animations, that way it will actually be looking like it's walking. But it won't be perfect, obviously, but it actually looks pretty good. I tried it. So now we can open our blend space. Here for horizontal axis, so which is this one here, that will be direction. And minimum axis value will be -180, and then maximum will be 180. We will snap to grid. And vertical axis, which is this one, will be speed. And this one will be from 0 to, I don't know, 500. We don't really need to run, because strafing will pretty much be only for like block or aiming. So 500 is enough, and also snap to grid. And now search for 200. And so walk backward. Walk backward will be on these two, this one here and this one here, and also on the other side. So this is when the angle is 180 on -180. We'll walk backward. Walk forward will be on this middle two. So this is the speed 250, so which is fine, because we will have 150, we have speed on the blocking, so it will be between this. Then walk left will be on this, and this one here. Walk right will be on these two. And then we need to add, did I add the correct one? No, 200 attack. Make sure you don't add it wrong one. You don't add wrong ones, because it will be a mess. So walk right needs to be here. Walk left, forward and backwards. And now on the bottom part we need idle. So it can be 200 idle. and we're doing the whole thing because the speed is 0, so it doesn't matter if we forward or backward. And here we need to add running ones, so just search for run. And we already had this run forward before because we were setting it up for running with weapon. Doesn't matter. So run forward will be here and here. Run left will be on these two. Run right will be here and here. And run backward. Did I miss backwards? Yeah, okay. Forward, forward, and backward will be on these two. Alright, save it. And now we need to go to animation blueprint. So I'll close these four. Go to player, mesh, search for ABP money, open it up. First we need to check if we are strafing. So we need to set it up in the player first when we start blocking. So here before this, move this back. And instead of creating variable is strafing, we will just add it to gameplay tags. So get gameplay tags, add tag, add gameplay tag. And when you select it here, gameplay tags, let's just add new one to character, and under checks we're going to add subtag, which will be character.checks.strafing. Add new tag, and here we can now select it, and copy gameplay tags. Again, I'll move this back, and here I'll remove that tag, which will be strafing characters, character actions, checks, sorry, strafing, when we release the right mouse button. Compile it. Now in an animation blueprint, we can go to event graph, and down here we already have gameplay tags from the player, so we can check if it has tag, and this will be character checks strafing. We can do exact match and promote this to variable, which will be is strafing. And we also need to create direction, because at the moment we only have speed, but we need direction for the blend space to work. And we can just, here when we're calculating the velocity and ground speed, we can right click and calculate direction. For that we need velocity, which we have as a variable by default, so get it. And then for rotation we need rotation of the player, so there is a character here, so just get reference, character, and get actor rotation. And this one will promote to variable called direction. And we can connect it here. It needs to be behind this one because here we're calculating the velocity which we are using after. So compile and save. And now let's go back to anim blueprint. Find the locomotion, and we can go to walk and run. Double click, and we can set it up after this weapon is equipped. We also need to blend poses by bool. So check if the variable is true or false, and the variable will be is strafing. And if we are strafing, we will play that blend space, which is 200 strafe blend space. True pose. And we need to get ground speed to speed and direction to direction. And false pose will just be this one here. We don't need to blend it in any way, like with the bones or anything, because this will just be playing on the legs, because when we're blocking and strafing, we will play blocking animation on top half of the body anyway. And same thing will be with the bow later, so no changes needed, just compile and save it. Now we can test it out. So play the game. Let's pick up some weapon. Let's get rid of this guy by going behind him so he's not in the way. Now when I'm blocking with a weapon, I'm strafing right, left, backward and forward and back left, right. And as you can see, it looks pretty decent. I mean, other strafing animations that I found had a problem when you were going backwards. It was a bit weird, but this one actually looks okay. It's nice. If you want to have it a little bit faster, you can change that rate scale on those walking animations to 0.6 or something. I think that would look okay, but the character is not sliding or anything. I think this is good speed, so I'll leave it as it is. You can do this with weapon and shield as well. And it's just strafing. Right, so that is strafing movement done. And now we want to maybe let's fix the sounds and effects and stuff like that. So in the combat component, we have left this out completely. We need to connect it back. So move this part somewhere here so we have space. And then let's connect it here. So this is, if we are not blocking, we want to receive the hit and then we want to receive the effects. So spawn decal, which is the blood decal, we need to have attached to component and attach point name. We don't have it here in the take damage function. So we need actual hit info from the hit itself. So let's create new input and this will be hit info. And I think here we need to search for hit result or something. Hit result, yeah, hit result, which is a struct. And we need to connect it in both player and enemy when we're calling this function. So in the player, when we receive point damage, we're going to pass the hit info, and also in the enemy. Here when we do event point damage, we'll pass the hit info. And now in the combat component, we can break it open, so scroll down, break hit result, and what is first here? Component. So hit component will go to attach component, hit bone name goes to hit attach point name, and set fade out. This is fine. Spawn system at location, which is the blood effect. That needs to have a location where we're spawning it. We do have a hit location here already, or you can get the impact point as well. Doesn't matter. I think I'll just get the impact point, so it's closer. So that's, oh, not here, sorry. In the second one, impact point goes here to location. And here, this is where we're turning off the sound that is from the weapon whoosh. I don't know, whoosh is such a stupid name, but that's what we called it. So that's what it is, but it won't work here because the enemy that is attacking is spawning that sound. So the reference is in his combat component, but this is the actor that receives the damage component. So it doesn't have the same reference. So what we need to do to turn off the whooshing sound, we need to get owner, get not get owner. We need to get the damage causer, so the actor that actually caused the damage, and that is the actor that plays that sound. And from that we need to get component by class, just a single component, and this will be combat component. And we can actually just get this active variable and set inactive, but I think it will be better if we just do event, custom event. So let's do event graph, create custom event, and this one will be stop weapon sound. And we will do the same thing, so we will I'm just thinking active, yeah, that's fine. So active weapon sound, get it, and we will right click, convert to validated get, and if it's valid we will from here, from active weapon sound, set active and just leave it false. And now in take damage, here where we do have this damage causer component, that's where we want to stop weapon sound, and this will be done on block, but also on when we hit the enemy. So instead of this part, and we don't have to like connect the validity or not validity. And this sound, which is flash hit, goes back here. And also this needs to be connected to stop weapon sound. Compile and save. And we can test it out actually. So let's pick up some weapons. Okay, so as you can hear, he's playing that sound, but when he hits me, I think it stops. And you will see it on the block. So there is no sound because we stopped that sound. So that's working fine. One more thing is, I said in a previous video I was testing one animation for blocking, and the other one that I was actually testing looked better than this one that I connected, but it is the one I have included in the download link, so you should have the correct one, because in this one the character is stepping back quite a lot and it doesn't look very good, so I will also change it for the other one. And now we want to add some sound for blocking, so let's go to combat component, and here again we're going to play sound 2D. Not going to do location again because I want to hear it clearly. And this will be, so we need to check what material is the weapon made from, basically, or what is the sound of that weapon. But if we're blocking with the main hand, we want to have a main hand sound. But if we're holding the shield, we want to have a blocking sound, or blocking sound from the shield, because we're blocking with the shield. So we need to check if we are actually holding the shield. And for that, is instead of passing like item info or anything, we only have this offhand reference and main hand. We're going to get the combat type from the player. So in the combat BPI, we're going to add new function, and this will be get current combat type, and we need output, which will be combat type enumerator, and here this will be current, or just combat type, compile and save. Also add it to combat category, and then in a player we can just go to interfaces, combat, and get I didn't compile it after I added it or saved it. Compile it one more time, and now get current combat type. Double click, and we'll pass it our current combat type. So for now we're not setting up blocking for enemy, so enemy doesn't need to have this current combat type. We'll do it in the AI section. But for the player now we will have the blocking sound. So if we get owner again and call get current combat type, we now have a combat type of the player, and then here we will check if it equals enumerator, weapon and shield. We only want to play offhand sound if it's weapon and shield, because later on we might have a book for casting spells or something in offhand, and you don't want to have a sound from that, because it wouldn't make sense. It will be still main hand weapon, so it will be only for weapon and shield. And here we'll do select, connect it here, and if it's true, we need to set up sound in the items, so in this main hand and offhand. So let's go to third person, blueprints, items BP, and here I'm going to add one more variable, which will be block sound, and it will be set up on each weapon, and this will be sound base as well, object reference, and that's pretty much it. So now in the combat we can get main hand and get offhand, and from both we need to get block sound. And if we are holding weapon and shield, then we will connect offhand sound, and if holding main hand, or like any other combat type, we'll connect the main hand blocking sound, and that will be the sound that we play from here. Now we just need to set up some sounds on these weapons, so I'm just going to do like a sword, and here I'm going to do this metal weapon block metal. On iron axe, that will be same, so metal weapon block metal. What else do we have? Golden shield doesn't have weapon sound, doesn't need one, and here will be metal shield block metal, and then we don't need one on the offhand, and wooden club will be just, this one actually should be wooden, so wood weapon block wood. Compile and save. Now we can test it out. So if I play the game, let's test out the shield first. Come here. Okay, it doesn't see me, or it's, there we go. But if I let go, it actually hits me normally. And then let's test out this one. Right. So yeah, that's that wooden sound because he's bashing against my two-hander. And then what else? Maybe just the one-handed weapon metal. There we go. Alright, this weapon animation is a little bit weird. I'll fix that. For now, we also want to have some sparks flying, so let's do one more thing in a combat component, and that will be, it's not spawn system. I need to actually check what it is called, the function for spawning Niagara, because I forgot. We have it in items, resource. Oh, no, actually it won't be in resource, it will be in player. Sorry about this, this will just be very quick. So in the player resource, gathering resources, what am I doing here? Spawn emitter, nah, that is what I would try to get. So in combat component, after display sound, we want to spawn emitter at location, because it's not the system, because here we don't have the mining effect or whatever it is. So it is the mining effect I'm trying to get. I'm going to search for it, but it won't be the same because this mining effect also has some wisp and wisp glow. For those of you that didn't set up the resources, it is from the Realistic Started Pack VFX Volume 1, which is free one on Fab. And here in the particles we do have heat. And here you got ceramic, concrete, default, ice, leather, and so on. Wood. I'm just actually going to get the concrete, which is this one here. But we have changed the color in that mining one. So if I search for it again, I'm going to duplicate it, and this one will be weapon metal hit. And open it up, and I'm going to remove this wisp glow and wisp. Yeah, and we should be left only with sparks. Save it. And now weapon hit metal. Metal hit. And it's going to be spawned on this impact. I connected impact normal, but it needs to be impact point or location. I'll just, you know what, I'll change this one to hit location. I just noticed that. And also hit location will go to this one, spawn emitter. Now if we compile and save, and this guy is going to attack eventually. There we go. So that is looking much better. We also should have it on the weapons. I'll probably change it in a way so it will be for wood and metal, but not just now, because this video is getting long and I still want to do blocking angles. So let's set that up. So we obviously don't want to block when we turned away from the enemy or sideways and stuff. So we need to set up the blocking angle. In combat component, I'm going to create a new macro, and this will be check blocking angle. And here we need to have an input, which will be actor, because we need to get enemy where he is located. So actor, object reference, and this will be enemy. And from here we need to get location, get actor location. And then we also need to get owner of this component, which will be again player or the enemy, and get actor rotation, and also get actor location, and then from two locations we can do find look at rotation, so where we actually looking from whoever is attacking, which is the enemy, to whoever is being attacked. And then we find out this location, and from this we can get delta rotator, and this one can go to A, this one will be B. And from delta rotator we need to check the range of this angle, so we'll do in range float. Maybe we can't get it here, just right click and in range float. And here we need to right click. That's why, okay, so we need to split it, and we only check in the Z, because we're not going to be like above the enemy and blocking and stuff, you know, we don't need to check that. So we will connect this to value, and minimum here I would say would be like minus 180 needs to be minimum, and goes to like minus 90, so 90 degrees angle on one side. And then we need to copy this, paste it, do value, and this one will be 90 to 180. So the other side. And here we'll do or boolean. But if we return this, this will be blocking when we out of the correct angle, so we need to do not boolean as well. And then we're going to get the output node and return this one. Now when we where was I? Combat, when I compile and save, and in the event graph, sorry, in the take damage, we need to find where we're blocking. So here we're checking if it has tag blocking, and we're also going to do end boolean. We need to have a correct angle, so check blocking angle. Connected here, and that one goes to condition. And for enemy it will be the damage causer. So compile and save. We can always adjust the angle, but I think 90 when I was testing it out was pretty good. So now let me just pick up something, shield, and let's go from the front. This guy needs to run to, there we go, we're blocking. He missed when I turn sideways. I'm still blocking here, but here when I'm like this way, more than 90 degrees sideways, he will hit me. When I go backwards, he will also hit me, and then block. So I'm blocking only in like this 90 degrees range to each side. Cool. So I think that's looking pretty good. I just need to change that animation for block because it's a bit weird. And then need to adjust some animations. I'll probably add some of them on Patreon. And then, yeah, and then in next one we can set up like blocking stamina or maybe input buffering. So we can actually, straight after attack when it's available, we can go into blocking or attacking or doing something else. So that's what input buffering does. So I'll see what needs to be done. So I'll see you then. Bye.